It is 6 a.m. and developing right now on Denver7 News. A deadly confrontation captured in a series of photos. This morning, the new information about the unlicensed security guard seen pulling the trigger and the protester killed.
Plus, back on the campaign trail.
It looks like I'm immune for, I don't know, maybe a long time, or maybe a short time. It could be a lifetime.
Claiming he may be immune to the coronavirus, President Trump kicks off a jam-packed week to rally his supporters.
And the coronavirus is now throwing the Broncos season for a loop.
We're just going to roll with the punches and adjust.
And that is the name of the game this year for everyone, just to adjust and roll with the punches. Good Monday morning to you. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Brian Sanders.
I'm Nicole Brady, and we do have a Denver7 weather action day in effect for more gusty conditions and high fire danger. We'll get to Lisa with more on that in a moment. First, we want to get out to Jason Luber. Jason, I noticed debris on the roads this morning because the wind blowing that around, and traffic could be affected a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, most definitely, especially if today is your trash day, Nicole. So we have to watch out for maybe some debris in some of those areas that are prone for the wind, especially up here around Sloan's Lake, or Sloan's Lake is over here, Stanley Lake, and some of the areas out to the west where we can really see some of that wind. It was really that front that came through and blew everything all over the place, and it also brought some snow up into the high country where we do have still some slick conditions up there. Take a look at the drive here across downtown. Looks great so far. This is the southbound side, northbound side of I-25. Just south of I-70, so the taillights of the folks heading south right now, and I'm not seeing any delays going across downtown just yet. Just starting to see a little bit of traffic here and there. We have one crash on that southwest side. It's on Federal between Union and Bellevue at Radcliffe, so that's the only crash that we have really of note so far on the off the highways, and we do have a pretty decent drive just about anywhere else, including on I-70 right there. But Lisa, it looks like those winds will be around, what, I guess for another day today.
Yeah, today, tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow it could get even windier in spots. So take a look at the red flag warnings that cover pretty much all of eastern Colorado, the entire northern Front Range. Wind speeds today at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So fire danger is high. And if it's trash day for you, be careful. You may see some of that trash down the street by the time you get home. For your kids this morning at the bus stop, it's chilly. We've seen some upper 30s to low 40s. A lot of kids are off for fall break. Those that are heading into school, though, today, they're going to want an extra layer. We'll be in the low to mid 70s, though, under a lot of sunshine by the time they get out this afternoon. So really some pretty nice conditions. Low to mid 70s. It's just the winds that will be a bit of a headache over the next couple of days. 50s and 60s in the mountains this afternoon. And again, a little closer into town, we'll see mainly some low to mid 70s in and around Denver. Coming up, we'll take a look at just how much warmer it's going to get, plus then the next cold front that's set to hit a little later this week.
Thanks, Lisa. These pictures show the very tense moments leading to a deadly shooting at a protest in downtown Denver this weekend. Our partners at the Denver Post captured the up-close images showing an unlicensed security guard shooting and killing a protester on Saturday. Denver7's Sloan Dickey joins us live near the Art Museum where the shooting happened. And Sloan, we're learning new information about both the suspect and the victim.
Yes, we are. I'm standing right in front of where that shooting took place on Saturday after those rallies. The victim has been identified by family members as 49-year-old Lee Keltner. He was a veteran and he was attending a pro-police rally with his son. Keltner was a longtime Denver businessman who ran a hat shop. The Denver Post profiled him in 2015. Police say the shooting immediately followed a fight between two men. These Denver Post photos show Keltner apparently striking Matthew Doloff, a private security guard hired to protect crews for 9 News at the rallies. Keltner used pepper spray and Doloff allegedly fired a single shot, killing Keltner. Police immediately arrested Doloff after the incident. The 30-year-old Doloff is held without bond after his Saturday arrest. He is held on suspicion of first-degree murder. Now, there's another separate investigation looking into Doloff because he did not obtain a license to be a security guard here in Denver or to carry a gun on the job. That could lead to additional consequences to him and new consequences for the person who hired him, Pinkerton, the security company. We'll have more details on that at 6:30.
All right, thank you, Sloan. In addition, we spoke to Denver attorney David Lane about what legal protections the suspect could have in this case. Is there possibly room for a self-defense argument? And Lane says unless the victim was found to have a gun and was reaching for it, the suspect's actions were not warranted.
Getting pepper sprayed is not serious bodily injury. You're not allowed to kill someone because they pepper spray you.
So there are still a lot of unanswered questions about the case. We are working to get those answers for you. The updates will be on the denverchannel.com and right here on Denver 7. And we will also stream any news conferences live for Denver 7 News on your Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Android device.
Overnight, search and rescue teams recovered the body of a woman at Chatfield Reservoir. Officials say the woman was paddleboarding over the weekend when wind gusts picked up to about 40 miles an hour and she went under the water. Another woman who was paddleboarding with her was pushed to shore by the wind and is okay this morning.
State health officials are keeping a close eye on rising COVID cases in Colorado. This weekend we saw our highest jump in new cases since the pandemic began. Another 819 new cases were reported yesterday on top of the 1,023 new cases added on Saturday. But this is the number that is most important. It is the number of hospital beds in use currently by coronavirus patients. Right now there are 383 beds in use in Colorado, which is well below our state's capacity. Also yesterday, Governor Polis extended the state's mask mandate another 30 days.
President Trump is heading back on the campaign trail today. His personal doctor says the president is no longer contagious. But as ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi explains, the president is going a step further.
This morning, President Trump preparing to return to the campaign trail just days after leaving the hospital.
It looks like I'm immune for, I don't know, maybe a long time and maybe a short time. It could be a lifetime. Nobody really knows, but I'm immune.
Kicking off a jam-packed week of back-to-back rallies after his doctor announced the president is no longer at risk of spreading COVID. But during a call with supporters Sunday, the president claimed he's not only COVID-free, but immune to the virus. The president is also touting the experimental treatment, which he credits for his recovery.
We want to get it brought into the hospitals because I really believe it's a transfusion. I really believe that it will solve the problems of a lot of people.
But despite promising results for drugs like remdesivir and Regeneron's antibody cocktail, both of which were part of Trump's treatment, the CEO of Regeneron is now warning the company only has enough doses to treat 50,000 patients.
We have to figure out ways to ration this.
The president is eager to get back on the campaign trail with his poll numbers slipping. When it comes to handling the pandemic, our poll shows voters now trust Joe Biden over Trump by 12 points.
America deserves a president who understands what people are going through.
And now the president's campaign facing new questions.
President Trump tackled the virus head on.
ABC News confirming Dr. Anthony Fauci did not consent to this new ad, in which he's heard apparently praising the president's response to the pandemic.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
Fauci writing in a statement, quote, "I have never publicly endorsed any political candidate. The comments attributed to me without my permission in the GOP campaign were taken out of context." The Trump campaign says it plans to keep airing the ad, saying the doctor has praised the president's work in the past. One of those topics of praise, the administration's decision to restrict travel during the pandemic. But this morning, the administration is repeatedly in talks with some airlines to fast-track some international travel. The talks coming even as new infections in the UK have doubled in the last week. Pubs and restaurants in some areas now facing tighter restrictions. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
Democratic candidate Vice President Joe Biden will participate in a town hall here on Denver 7 Thursday night. Good Morning America anchor George Stephanopoulos will be the moderator. President Trump is reportedly in talks to hold his own town hall on NBC at the same time, but NBC has not announced the event yet. Senate confirmation hearings began at the top of the hour for Supreme Court Justice nominee Amy Coney Barrett. This is the first of 4 days of hearings. Republicans and Democrats will likely spar over her record, especially when it comes to abortion. Democrats say confirming a new justice should be put off until after the election. We will air the entire hearings on your streaming device. Just search Denver 7 on Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV.
Well, the Broncos' schedule just got a bit jumbled because of positive COVID tests by several Patriots players. So today's rescheduled game has been rescheduled again to this Sunday after a fourth Pats player tested positive yesterday. So the Broncos will take on the Pats this Sunday at 11, but that moves the game against the Dolphins all the way to November 22nd. And that change moves the Chargers game planned for the 22nd up to November 1st, which was supposed to be a bye week.
We're just going to roll with the punches and adjust. You know, I said my initial message to the team all the way back in training camp was this was going to be an improvise and adjust season. I'm fully prepared to react and improvise no matter what happens.
So this past weekend becomes the Broncos' bye week. The silver lining may be that injured quarterback Drew Lock could return this Sunday thanks to another full week of healing to his shoulder.